Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me mute.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Just had to mute my stream.
What's that? Oh yeah, mute the YouTube.
There we go. How's that?
That is perfect, dude.
Cool.
How you doing tonight, Mike?
Pretty good. I appreciate you stopping by.
Oh, in your stream earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're more than welcome.
I know you probably have some people waiting in line here, but before we got to like my greatest accomplishment or whatever, I was just going to ask you for a little constructive criticism.
Oh, sure. Go right ahead.
Cool. No, just you about me.
Oh, well, you're not my type.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, each his own.
Do you mean like your live stream, you as a person, your channel, or?
No, just the idea in general and what's going on and how, I know everything's not, perfect. It's not, like I said, I'm doing things kind of simple and
sure,
and bootstrapping it right off the bat. But it's not being nice or anything. I got tough skin. And
oh well, honestly, I thought you were competition at first, but then you and I was okay with that because I know there are going to be a whole lot more people doing what I'm doing right now very, very soon. And I'm not talking about, it's kind of a hybrid between, or I see us as similar shows, but different. I mean, you're concentrating on creators. I don't care who calls in, it could be just somebody that doesn't even have a YouTube channel. They can actually call into this if they wanted to.
Right.
So I don't look at it as direct competition anymore. Beyond that, I like what you're doing. I mean, you're doing that sort of thing that the Nimmons and the, well, let's just say the vidIQs and the TubeBuddies and everybody who's trying to help creators, but don't talk to creators. They talk at them, which is fine. I mean, that's their gig. But
right.
But I think it's real important to talk to them as well, like what you're doing. So I love what you're doing, dude. Your name is spot on. Creator Spotlight. That is spot on. I like that a lot.
Cool. Appreciate that. The one guy that I had talked to several people, I thought about this for several years, and the one guy that was going to help me start it up, and he was actually going to be doing the interviews. We were sitting there doing like a test interview, and we just came up with it. He actually spit the idea out, and he was supposed to help start, but that was back in Christmas, and I kept waiting, but he actually came up with it. I'm kind of, a little sad that he's not around, for every show to, partake in it, but that was kind of a just spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, and that kind of threw me off. I remember hearing about you for the first time, and I believe we met in a live stream somewhere, and I thought, Creator Spotlight, I got to go check that out. And then I saw him doing some stand-up promos for the show.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'd forgotten about it because you guys kind of dropped off for a while. I guess you cooled off or something. And then suddenly Mike's doing shows, and I'm like, no, I know it's the same place, but I don't remember seeing you do promo videos. And so it took me a minute to catch up, as it were.
Yeah, I just kept waiting and waiting. One big thing about doing anything is you got to be self-aware. And like I said, I know I'm not the best personality. We're all, that's not, I don't need people to just be nice and that. But as far as Todd went, he's excellent as far as being an on-camera presence.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, I'm good at connecting people and doing the behind the scenes thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was doing, and he was doing that, but he's a certified CPA, and it came around tax season, and we kept waiting, and he's sort of a perfectionist too. He wants everything all done right, and he's got a bunch of his hands in a lot of pots right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's anytime he wants to jump back in, he can. But me, I couldn't wait anymore. It was going 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then 6 months. I'm like, I've been waiting 2 years, so I said, I'll just do it. If somebody else like Sharni's going to be coming on Saturday nights and kind of co-hosting, like she was last Saturday night, she's cool. To have someone else to take over a little bit and ask questions, and she's got her own perspective on things. So she's an awesome person.
Oh yeah, I love Sharni. She's been on the show several times.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great idea. I think I actually mentioned it in that show because I was watching a lot of that. I don't remember how much I chatted, but yeah, I watched that show where you were going over channels, and I'm like, wow, co-host, that's an awesome idea. Not that I think you need it. You probably have the same problem I do, is you talk too much and not let the guests talk enough, as I'm doing right now. But
no, that's cool. That's what my wife says. She has to sit somewhere with a stab me or something, you're like, shut up for a minute, let them talk. So
I know, but it's hard to do, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
once you get going, and yeah, it's hard. It's real hard to stop and find some spot to just hand the ball off to someone else.
yeah, and then sometimes you got to help them because once you recognize that they're done talking, you got to jump in. Otherwise, they're hanging out in the wind.
Yeah, and you're like dead silence, and people are just looking at each other.
Yeah, then it's awkward for everyone.
Yeah,
and we don't want any awkward moments unless we want them to go viral.
right.
I should put. Speaking of which, I should put together a compilation of Angel's kisses and stuff, and see how that goes.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want to come on after. I want to be the first one to come on because Angel's like entertaining in that, and like I come on right after. Mine seem really boring.
No, I don't believe it.
Opening act.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't really see any guests as being boring. Honestly, as long as I can be at times because if I'm off my game, then I don't have anything to ask them, and you know how your brain works sometimes. But but everybody's got something to say, and arguably the best subject for each individual is themselves.
Yep.
So yes.
Yeah, everybody's got their own story, and it's different if people can leverage that and really go all in on that on their channels. I mean, then it's easy peasy.
Yeah, and exactly. And I, having said that, I got a question for you. You said you've been working on this for a couple of years. What made you decide to break away from your rather successful channel and go down this road? I know you probably talked about it on your show, but I'm interested in hearing it.
Yeah, it's I do hydroponics. Now, I got into that. It was to make money. Mm-hmm. I was trying to find a way to make money. And I was learning off-grid hydroponics, and we made grow containers that we were actually growing in. I thought maybe I'll start a channel and show people those and sell them. And over the first year, trying to network and meeting people and going to different groups, I started meeting more and more creators and different niches. And you find out there's a ton of people that are really talented, and you find a common thread with everyone that if we're not growing, or if you're small, you're growing slow, is that, it's not the lack of creativity. It's not the lack of talent. It's the lack of attention. And so after doing that and seeing some really talented people who were like 10 times better than me, just fall by the wayside and give up, you see that so many times, and you think, well, maybe we can all do something to help. And so I wanted to make something that's going to be driven just to help creators. And that's where the Creator Spotlight show, like I said, you'll never see like my page branded, and, not that there's anything wrong with that, but, trying to make everything where it's like that the Creator Spotlight's the destination. I always want that to be like a hub where people come there to find other creators. And I still got my hydroponics thing going, which is kind of autopilot, and it goes through its little, roller coaster things that are doing good, back and forth. Mm-hmm. So I'll just keep uploading videos over there like once a week or twice a week, whatever I can do. And now that that's kind of on autopilot, I've got the chance to help other creators. And so I'll do this, and it's not all just esoteric where I'm just doing it to be a saint. It's what I think is, I've explained early on, is that to do anything in social media, you need attention. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be the hardest part of everything. You can have the best product, you can be the best personality or anything, but if you're out in the middle of the field and no one can hear you, then it doesn't do any good. So trying to help other people and trying to connect all these people, I'm learning at the same time is where to get attention, how to use it, how to manipulate it. And I'm thinking that in the near future, that everything's going to be really gearing more towards social media, because it's interactive, whereas TV is just watching somebody from afar.
Yes.
And with this, like this, if people know they can watch a show and then get into the chat and talk with, the people that are on there, to me, I think that, that's like the wave of the future. And then when you get the big stars starting to hop over too and getting in them, so I'm thinking if you figure out how to get attention, is what we're all craving, and you figure out how to get it to other people, if you can do that, I think that's going to be a valuable commodity, if you will, in the years to come.
Yeah, yeah, and attention is one that I've struggled with. And I've said it several times based on, it has a lot to do with the format. Not
Hmm.
everyone wants to be a part of a radio call-in show like the of days of old.
Right.
Same thing applies with video, and it's not for lack of trying, because I've hit the Reddits, the Facebooks, the Twitters, and I'm still beating them up. But um, I also look at this as a hobby, so I don't go after it as though I want this to be my living,
Right.
and I don't have time to. but but what I like about your channel is that it's more of a give back sort of thing, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
And that's what I explained to all the people that I reached out to who wanted to be part of it in the
mhm.
beginning, was that there's no immediate ROI. We're not making money off of it, but the ROI is that we're going to learn, where attention goes.
Mhm.
And I told them that I want to do something. I'm getting older. I'm in my 50s. If I was 26, I'd probably be running around vlogging and jumping out of planes and, crap like that. But right now I want to build something that where every thought that I put into it isn't about money or branding or if I want to do a sponsored ad or and that my every thought is going to be when I do something. My question is going to be, is this going to help a creator?
Yes, exactly. And I kind of look at it the same way, especially when creators come on the show. The guest cuts are entirely for them, and all
Hmm.
of my marketing efforts are entirely for them as well. Um, they probably get the most love out of anything. If you do a search for most of the creators, my videos are up there as well. Along,
Hmm.
it's theirs really, because it's just me asking them questions. But that's the whole idea. That's the payoff's not immediate, but the more
Right.
traction we all get from the video calling show, the more
Hmm.
traction they get as well. And
Yeah.
that's what really keeps me going. Right now, I've got, which is wonderful, but I've got better than 15 videos that I still have yet to publish.
Yeah. Wow.
Of guests that have been on. Some of them have been repeats. Some are unique. So that's another reason I try to keep it down to an hour. But I'm doing that so that they can use that content. In fact, I've said many times that, look, I won't even publish it if you don't want to. I'll send you that, and you can put it anywhere you want to.
That's
Right?
awesome.
Yeah. So that
Right.
I'm not getting traffic from their channel. So you can title it any way you want to. You can do anything you want to, but it's literally your interview. You go with it and do that. And I haven't been taken up on that offer yet, but I figure that it will happen eventually. And
It will.
yeah,
It's something different, and just trying to coax people into it. At first it seems like a good idea, but then I found out there's a lot of people that are reluctant to like get on and talk. There's some people that are, but I want to give them a friendly environment because, like I said, they'll get on here and maybe feel uh, where they can get a little more comfortable talking and speaking, because you never know when a bigger channel in your niche, calls you and says, "Hey, I like your stuff." Where you come on and it's your first time and you're like bumbling around. So, I just want them to come on over there and have fun and relaxed and maybe just get used to, interacting with people
yeah,
and
being on camera, in this sort of interview environment. Practice makes perfect, is what you're saying. And I
right.
loved when you came up with that, because I heard you say it several weeks ago, and I thought, oh, that's
I did.
wonderful. Yeah, I really hadn't even thought about that angle where it's coming on the show. Your show is actually practice for bigger leagues. It's
Hmm.
perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So, did you hear that, guys?
Yeah, y'all get in line.
Get in line. Let me say hello to some folks that I might have
Yeah,
missed
yeah.
there,
Go ahead.
Mike. I saw that above and beyond drones. How you doing, Jim? Good to see you here, my friend. Outdoors with Eric. I said, whoa, Mike is on there.
Hey, Eric. I see Eric around everywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And let's see. Ed tells me he's here. More or less, he's working on stuff. Get it, Ed. I totally get it. No problem, dude. And somebody had a question for you, Mike.
Okay.
It says, how do you find? This is Drone Kings and Darwin. This is Brad. He says,
Yep.
how do you find balancing two channels? Do you still have a job as well? So it's a two-part question.
Yep. I've been self-employed. My wife paints murals and I do handiwork, and we've been working together. Sometimes I go in and prep stuff and do drywall, and then she comes in and paints murals. And I've been working with her since 1999.
Wow, very cool.
So that's our main hustle that we go and do. during the day. So I've got my channel, and I've been doing that for almost 3 years now. It's 2.5 years. So, after so long, that kind of becomes second nature. You just film something, do your little video and put it up. And this Creator Spotlight show is kind of like a passion project where there's no pressure. If I turn on the live stream and 2 people show up, then I get to spend more time with those 2 people. And if 50 people show up, it's a party. So whatever happens, if you have no expectations, you don't get let down.
That's absolutely true. Do you find it hard balancing, your time between all 3 of those things?
Well, I'm going to tell you, a couple of years ago, and I don't expect anyone to do this. I'm just older. I've did everything in that. And this is what I love to do. I mean, really, not like some people go, oh, I love vlogging or I love this and that. When I got into, I hated social media, and I was the guy who wouldn't even put Facebook on my phone or anything. And when I tried to start and I had to learn all about it and I started connecting with people, I fell in love with it. And I've canceled. I haven't watched cable in like 3 years. I haven't watched any movies. I think I sat and watched, one was Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or something. My wife wanted me to sit down and watch. And when I was sitting watching, I was on my phone. But I really do just love all of this stuff, and it might not be healthy, but I go to bed late, and I wake up. It's not like I set the alarm and go, oh crap, I got to go and edit or drop a video. It's that I get up anticipating it, and maybe I'll come to the point where I burn out a little. But right now, to me, if I ever live a balanced life, I feel it's boring. And it's ever since I was my first job, I've always been like that. I'd be, if we were all working and building a friggin' porch or something, I'd be the last guy up there still screwing stuff in the hot sun and everybody's taking a break. Or if I was cooking and online, I was the last one to take a break, and I let everyone else go and I stay late. So it's just in my nature. And I think that if I slow down and try to balance, I would just go nuts. I don't know what's.
No, I feel you, dude. I'm the same way. The same way. Oh man, right. The extra time that I put in over the years, only because it was more important for me to get it done. I didn't care, who I was doing it for. It was more important to me that the job was in my hands and I wanted to get it done. I can't tell you how much I've done that. And I'm with you too. This has become one of my favorite things. And I didn't get to talk about, I'm going to ask you here in a minute about your greatest accomplishment or accomplishments. It's really your call. But I didn't get into mine, but I'm hoping this becomes one of my greatest accomplishments, that I can, talk to and even help and just learn about so many more people. Oh, already it is, I'd say, but.
Yeah, no, I think it will. I mean, a couple of months ago when I first saw you, and that it was, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And just seeing people come on and talk, it's like I said, I've been watching all of, like social media, and as far as like attention goes, and to make it on social media too, you got to be different.
Yes.
And you're kind of, even though we're all doing something kind of like other channels, you've got your own little spin on it. And it's something that came from here, and, you really enjoy it. So, I really think, you're going to make it on to something here.
I hope you're right, man. And I hope you as well on that side.
Doubt.
Both sides, actually, both, I wish major success for both channels, dude.
Oh yeah.
So having said that, I got to ask, since it's the topic of the night, what do you think has been your greatest accomplishment?
Well, with like my hydroponics channel, like I said, at first I got into it to make money. It was like for marketing, and it's kind of hard to just, hey, look at this. Do you want to buy that? Be a salesperson. I hate that. And so I was thinking, well, I'm just going to show people, this unique way I've got to grow things and show them how to do it. And my wife was like, you're crazy. If you show them how to do it, why would they buy anything? And I said, well, sooner or later, somebody doesn't have time to do it, or they don't have the capability, or they don't have power tools, and somebody will say, hey, can you make me one? Which did happen. So I was just giving away the information free and waiting for stuff to trickle in. I knew it would build up, and then I started affiliate links and a PDF, and so it's generating like passive income. But that was kind of nice. But then I started getting emails and direct messages because I was giving out this information, and some guy would say he's going back to a third world country in Africa, and their village is really poor and they live in desert-like conditions. They can't farm, but they're going to go back there, and the stuff that we shared with them, they're going to start feeding their village.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
somebody from Egypt sent me something, said they're going to a little neighborhood where seniors live, and they're fixed incomes and or whatever they have over there, that they don't have a lot of money to spend on groceries, and they're going to start a community garden. And I started getting messages like this, and people going back to Trinidad and Tobago and Chile, and that kind of stuff is what kind of floats my boat, really. When I'm 80 years old and sitting on the front porch, I can make $1 million, and nobody's going to bat an eye that I passed through this world. But the stuff that you do that leaves an impact, that's stuff that's kind of priceless. And it sounds a little esoteric, but those things. My wife paints murals too, so we'll go into like kids that are like terminally ill or have chronic illnesses, and she'll do a room makeover for them, and we'll get a little card, or they'll say a little thank you, and that kind of stuff you can't put a price on. Years down the road, you can sit there and that it's up here and it never goes away.
Yeah.
Just leave my mark on the world.
That encapsulates it all right there, man. Well said. Make your mark on the world. Make your mark on the world. And everyone should have that feeling. I've got a couple myself, and it really it is what helps you sleep at night. It is what makes you feel comfortable knowing that no one gets out of this life alive. Yeah. I mean that's
it makes all of this other stuff easy.
Yes.
Because if that's your goal and you've kind of you've reached that you've helped people, then everything else is like icing on the cake.
Exactly.
If you do make a little money on, that's extra. If you do help more people, that's extra. But once you reach that where you're happy, if you die today, that you might not have everything that you want. I might want, there's lots of things that I want, but if you die, that you died happy.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to get all
No.
way out there, hippie like out there. So.
No, not at all. I mean, that's what this show is actually all about, dude. It's actually all about that. And I didn't even think about making a mark on the world, even though my greatest accomplishment was my greatest mark on the world. So interesting. And I'll, without taking time from you, I'll mention it briefly. It's absolutely my son. And I'm so proud of him and the way he attacks things, life and his family and all that, makes me very proud, because I know that I helped make that happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Yeah. And I know that's the default, go-to is your kids or your greatest accomplishment. But I mean, in this case, it is, it truly is. And I've got some peers who would probably not say that, but we can almost say that a lot of times that's going to be their fault or the environment or whatever. But for me, it's definitely him.
That's cool. That's just awesome. That, that you actually feel that way, that, like you said, there are some families that aren't like that. So,
yeah. Well, Mike, damn, this has been great, man.
Cool.
I love having you on the show.
Else in here?
Yeah, I got one more guy. I don't know exactly who it is, but absolutely, dude. If you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. I'm out of here, and we'll catch you later.
All right, thanks, Mike. You have a good evening, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
You too could be a guest on this show at any time. We're live every weeknight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you've got to do is hit that subscription button and ring that bell right now. Oh, and while you're at it, why not share this video? I'm sure my guests would appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you live.